Hey everybody, this is Mr. Katan. How you been? I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing all right. It's been a while. I have super crazy hair right now because I haven't had a haircut in a really long time and everything is closed. So I'm really happy that you can't see my face right now on camera. So we're going to start with our first lesson. It's subtraction. We worked on subtraction in the classroom, but we didn't get enough practice. So let's jump right ahead and let's get started. So let's say I was trying to solve 32 minus 10. Now you might be able to do this in your head and get the answer, and that's okay. But what if you wanted you to show your work? What if I wanted you to show a strategy for solving this problem or this question? Well, one thing that you can do is a number line. And you've seen this before, so you should be familiar with it. A number line. So you're going to draw your line. You can make it as big as possible. You're going to write down your number 32 over here. That's the number that you start with. And you're going to have to subtract 10. You're going to have to make jumps to subtract 10 so that you can get your answer. So your jumps can be worth a different number. So let's say I wanted to make jumps that are worth 2. So every time I make a jump, I am subtracting 2. So 32 minus 2 is 30. Subtract another 2. 30 minus 2 is 28. Now I've only subtracted 4 so far. I need to keep going so that I subtract 10 in total. Subtract another 2, I get 26. Keep going and subtract another 2. 26 minus 2 is 24. Now, am I there yet? 2, 4, 6, 8. No, I've only subtracted 8. I need to subtract 10, so I need to make another jump to subtract 2, and I get 22, which is my answer. Now, can I draw this number line differently? Can I do different jumps? Do I have to subtract 2 each time? No, I can make different jumps. Let's say I wanted to make jumps that are worth 5. So I start with 32 and I subtract 5 each time, minus 5. So 32 minus 5 is 31, 30, 29, 28, 27. So 32 minus 5 is 27. Am I done? No, I've only subtracted 5. I need to subtract 10 in total. So I'm going to make another jump to subtract another 5. And now 27 minus 5 is 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. So I write down 22, and that's my answer. So I got the same answer, but I chose a different number to represent each jump. I chose 5s here, and here I chose 2s. Okay, can I use a different strategy? How about base 10? So, how can I represent 32 using base 10? Well, you remember that each stick that looks like this, you can draw it, represents 10. So 10, 20, 30, to represent 32, I'm going to add 2 little cubes like that. So this is 32, and I need to subtract 10. So I'm going to take away 10, and I'm left with 10, 20, 22. Okay? Now let's say I was doing a different question and I wanted to use base 10. Let's say instead of 32 minus 10, I wanted to do 32 minus 14. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw my 32, which is going to look the same. So again, each one of these sticks represents 10, so 10, 20, 30, and 2 cubes to represent 32. Now for this question, it might help you to actually draw the cubes for the 10s, the individual cubes. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's 32, and I wanted to subtract 14. So I'm going to take away a 10 minus 10. Are we done? We have 22 left, but are we done? No, we need to subtract 14. So I have to subtract another 4. Here, I'm going to take this one away. Now I've subtracted 11, subtracted 12. Sorry, that should be a 1. I need to subtract another 2 to make 14 in total. So I'm going to cross one out from here and another one here. So you can see here that I subtracted a total of 14. And I'm left with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm left with 18, and that's our answer. What about a different strategy? What about, we called it stacking. You can also call it an algorithm. Can you use an algorithm or stacking to solve the question? Yes, let's try it. So 32 minus 10 was our question. So here, what we have to do is to stack the 10s with the 10s and the 1s with the 1s. So let's start with 32, the bigger number up top always. 32, the 3 is the 10s. So I'm going to write that down here. And the 2 represent the 1s. I'm going to write it here. Do the same thing with 10. Underneath, this 1 represents the 10s. So I'm going to stack it with the 3. And the 0 represents the 1s. So I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to subtract now. So starting at the top right corner, it's 2 minus 0 is 2, and 3 minus 1 is 2. And there's your answer, 22. Now, what if you had something different? What if you had, instead of 32 minus 10, you had 32 minus 14? Okay? Now, same thing, put the 10s with the 10s and the 1s with the 1s by stacking them. 32, the 3 represents the 10, and the 2 represents the 1s. Okay? Same thing with 14. The 1 represents the 10s, the 4 represents the 1s. Now, we have a problem. I cannot do 2 minus 4. If you had $2 and somebody came up to you and said, can you give me $4? You're not going to be able to, because the 4 is bigger than the 2. You only have $2. You can't give away 4. So this 2 is going to have to borrow from his elbow partner, the 3. The 3 is going to be super nice, and he's going to lend the 1 a 10. Okay, now remember, this 1 does not represent a 1, so it's not 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. No, no, no. This 1 is actually a 10, so this 2 becomes a 12, and this 3 becomes a 2. So now can we do this? Yes, 12 minus 4 is 11, 10, 9, 8. 12 minus 4 is 8, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, if you have any small objects that you can use at home to help you count, maybe like dry beans or cubes, you can do that. Go ahead and do that. If you can do it in your head, or if you can use your fingers, you can do that as well. So 32 minus 14, we had to borrow here. The answer is 18. So these are the only strategies we're going to talk about right now. We're going to use these to solve word problems.